Master Guide, SAPSD. Copy Control, the 3 levels. 1. Executive Summary and Conceptual Framework. Copy control is the central nervous system of document flow in SAP Sales and Distribution, SD. It dictates how data originates from a source document, example, quotation, and populates a target document, example, sales order. For a functional consultant, mastering copy control is not just about knowing where data comes from. It is about controlling the business logic of the transaction. It determines data consistency, which fields are copied exactly, example, PO number, versus which are redetermined, example, pricing dates. Process flow, can I create a delivery from a blocked order? Controlled via copying requirements. Status updates, does the source document status change to completed or remain open? Pricing logic, do we keep the old price or fetch the current market price? The architecture is strictly hierarchical, mirroring the structure of SAP sales documents, header, item, and schedule line. The golden rule of copy control. Greater than copy control is always configured from the perspective of the target document. You do not tell the quotation how to send data, you tell the sales order how to retrieve it. 2. Configuration landscape, transaction codes. To be a hands-on expert, you must memorize the specific transaction codes for the different document flows. The logic is identical across them, but the controls, fields, vary slightly based on the context. Example, delivery split is relevant in VTLA, but not VTAA. Source target T-code typical scenario. Sales order, VTAA, quotation, order, inquiry, quotation. Sales order, delivery, VTLA, order, outbound delivery. Delivery billing, VTFL delivery, F2, invoice. Sales order, billing, VTFA order, order-related billing, example, credit memo. Billing sales order, VTAF invoice, return order. Billing, VTFF invoice, invoice list, or cancellation. 3. Level 1, header level control. The header level determines the behavior of the document as a whole. This is the first gate the system checks. If the header requirements are not met, the process stops immediately, and no items are copied. 3. 1. Key fields and controls. VTAA, or VTLA, or VTFLA. Copying requirements. The gatekeeper. This is a VOFM C Section 6 routine attached to the header. It is a piece of ABAP code that checks specific conditions before allowing the copy process to start. Standard Routine 001, header, checks if the sold to party in the source matches the target. Standard Routine 002, header, different customer, allows copying even if the sold to party is different, useful for quotation, order where the partner might change. Consultant tip. If a user complains I cannot create a delivery for this order, check the requirement routine in VTLA. It often checks for credit status or billing blocks. B. Data transfer routines, the mapper. These routines determine which data fields are carried over from source header to target header. In VTAA, sales to sales. These are segmented for granularity. 1. General header data, copies, PO number, PO date, document date. 2. Business data, copies Incoterms, payment terms, sales district. 3. Partner data, controls how partner functions are copied, expert insight. Often, you want payment terms to be redetermined from the customer master rather than copied from an old quotation. You would modify the business data routine to not copy the payment terms, triggering a new determination. C. Complete reference, VTAA. Checked. The system requires the entire source document to be copied at once. You cannot select partial items. Unchecked, partial copying is allowed, example, referencing 5 items out of 10 from a quotation. D. Copy item number. Checked. The system attempts to keep the item number, POSEX, the same. Example, item 10 in quote becomes item 10 in order. Unchecked. The target document generates new item increments, 10, 20, 30, regardless of the source numbering. Critical use case. Essential in bill of materials. BOM, explosion. If you copy a BOM, you usually want to preserve the structure or numbering. E. Order combination. VTLA sales to delivery. This is a massive topic for logistics execution. Checked. The system will try to combine multiple sales orders into a single delivery note, provided the split criteria, ship to, Incoterms, route, shipping point, date, match. Unchecked. One order equals one delivery. Even if two orders are for the same customer on the same truck, they get separate delivery documents. F. Allocation number or reference number, VTFL, billing. These fields control what data populates the ZUONR, allocation, and XBLNR, reference, fields in the FI, accounting, document generated by the invoice. A. Purchase order number. B. Sales order number. C. Delivery number. E. Current invoice number. Consultant tip. Clients always ask for the customer PO number to appear on their bank statement or FI aging report. This is where you configure that mapping. 4. Level 2. Item level control. This is the most complex and critical level. It controls the behavior of individual materials or services within the document. It links the item category of the source to the item category of the target. 4. 1. The mapping mechanism. You do not copy standard item to standard item. You configure source item category, TAN, standard item. Target item category, TAN, standard item. Scenario. In returns, you might map TAN, outbound, to REN, return item. 4. 2. Key fields and controls. A. Copying requirements. Item. Similar to the header, but checks line level validity. Routine 301. Item general. Standard check. Checks for rejection status. Routine 302. Do not copy item. Used when you want the header to copy, but specific item categories to be ignored automatically. B. Data transfer routines. Item. Business data. Copies item-specific business data. Price group. Sales district. Pricing data. Copies condition records. C. Pricing type. The holy grail of pricing control. This single field causes the most confusion and is the most frequently changed configuration in VTFL, billing, and VTAA, sales. It dictates how the system handles pricing in the target document. Value description behavior use case. B. Carry over completely, copies manual changes and scales redetermines nothing. Credit memos, where price must match the original invoice exactly. C. Copy manual or redetermine others. Keeps manual surcharges or discounts. Refreshes base price and taxes. Standard billing, delivery, invoice. Allows tax updates, but respects sales deal negotiations. G. Copy unchanged or redetermine taxes. Fixes the price elements but recalculates taxes. International export, where exchange rates or tax laws might have shifted between order and billing. X. Redetermine complex massive update. Redetermines prices, scales, and taxes. Quotation. Order, if the quote is expired. Consultant tip. If a user says my invoice has a different price than my order, why? Check this field. If it is set to G or C, the system might be fetching a new valid price list. If you want the order price guaranteed, use BD Update Document Flow. Checked. Links the two documents in the VBFA table. You can see the relationship in the Document Flow button. Unchecked. Copies data but creates no history. Critical scenario. Quotation to order must have this checked so the quote status updates to completed. Recurring orders might have this unchecked if one master order spawns multiple independent child orders without closing the master. E. Billing quantity, VTFL. Delivery to billing. Controls what quantity is billed. A. Delivery quantity, less invoiced quantity. B. Order quantity, less invoiced quantity. D. Delivery quantity, no check on order. Consultant tip. For standard goods, use A. For service items that are order-related billing, use BF pause or neg. Quantity, plus, positive. The target document has a positive impact. Sales order, invoice, negative. The target document reverses the impact. Returns, credit memo, 0, no effect. G. Copy schedule lines, VTAA only. In sales to sales, you can choose to copy the schedule lines, dates, and quantities from the source. Checked, copies the confirmed delivery dates from the quote. Unchecked, the order performs a new availability check, ATP, and determines new dates. 5. Level 3. Schedule line level control. This level is primarily relevant in sales to sales, VTAA, scenarios, example. Quote to order. Note, in delivery to billing, VTFL, schedule line control does not exist because billing is based on items, not schedule lines. In sales to delivery, VTLA, the schedule line logic is largely handled by the ATP check and order constraints, though mapping exists. 5. 1. The mapping. Source schedule line category. Example. CPMRP. Target schedule line category. Example. CP5. 2. Key controls. A. Data transfer routine. Allows manipulation of data specifically at the schedule line level. Example. Manipulating the confirmed quantity or dates during the copy. B. Copy quantity or date. Usually standard. However, you might use this to dampen the copy. For example, in a quantity contract to release order, you strictly control the schedule lines to ensure the release order does not exceed the contract limits. 6. Technical deep dive, VOFM, routines. To be a real hands-on expert, you must understand what happens behind the drop-down menus. The requirements and data transfer numbers, 001, 002, 301, etc., refer to ABAP routines managed in transaction, VOFM 6. 1. How to read a routine, 1. Go to T-code, VOFM 2. Navigate to copying requirements, orders 3. Select a routine, example, 001, and click source text. You will see ABAP code like IFVBKDINCO1NE. This is where the magic happens. SY-S sub R C equals 0. The requirement is met. Proceed. SY CBRC equals 4. The requirement failed. Stop copying. 6. 2. Creating custom routines. The 900 series. Standard SAP provides routines 001 to 599. Customer namespace is 600 to 999. If a client says, only allow copying quotation to order if the quotation is approved by a manager, status field ZSTAT equals APP. You cannot use standard config. Action plan. 1. Go to VOFM. 2. Copy routine 001 to 901. 3. Insert ABAP code to check table VBKD or VBAK for the Z field. 4. Activate the routine. 5. Assign routine 901 in VTAA header requirement. 6. 3. Important technical notes on activation. VOFM routines are workbench objects. They require a developer key. After creating a routine, you must run report RV80 HGEN in every target system, QA, prod, to generate the routines. If you transport a routine but forget to run RV80 HGEN, the copy control will dump or fail. 7. Troubleshooting and split analysis. The most common issue in copy control, specifically VTFL billing, is the invoice split. The user wants one invoice for 5 deliveries, but SAP creates 5 invoices. 7. 1. The split analysis tool. 1. Go to VF01, create billing document. 2. Enter the delivery numbers. 3. Click Execute. 4. If the system shows 2 lines, temporary documents, select them both. 5. Click Split Analysis button. 7. 2. Understanding ZUKRI split criteria. The system will compare the header fields of the potential invoices. If any header field differs, a split occurs. Common split causes: payment terms, different terms on different orders; Incoterms, different Incoterms; payer, different payers; exchange rate, different rates. ZUKRI field. This is a custom field in the data transfer routine, VOFM. Expert tip: if you need to force a split, example, split invoice by sales order reference. You write a VOFM data transfer routine to concatenate the sales order number into the ZUKRI field, VBRK ZUKRI. Because the ZUKRI is different, the system splits the invoice. 8. Real-world configuration scenarios. Scenario A: cash sales, process, order, delivery, invoice. Order type: BV or CS. Copy control: VTLA, order to Dell. Requirement: standard, order must be credit cleared. Copy control: VTFL, Dell to billing. Crucial step: cash sales invoices are order-related but printed immediately. However, purely technically, if you are doing delivery-related billing, ensure pricing type is not set to redetermine, as the customer already paid the price at the counter. Scenario B: returns with reference, INV, return order, return Dell, credit memo. T-code: VTAF, billing to order. Pricing type: B, carry over completely. You must credit the customer exactly what they paid originally. You cannot use current pricing. POSER, neg QTY, negative. The return order must have a negative value impact on the customer balance. Scenario C: intercompany billing, IV. T-code: VTFL. Source: delivery, LF. Target: IV. Intercompany invoice. Price source: the intercompany price, PI01 or PI02, is determined here. Check: ensure the payer is the internal customer assigned to the sales org, not the end customer. This logic is handled in the data transfer routine for partner data. 9. Summary checklist for the consultant. When you receive a requirement involving document flow, follow this mental checklist. 1. Identify source and target. Which T-code do I need? VTAA, VTLA, VTFL, VTFA. 2. Level check. Is this a header issue, customer mismatch, or item issue? Price update. 3. Pricing strategy. Does the business want new prices or old prices? Set pricing type B, C, or G4. Data consistency. Do I need custom fields, Z fields, to flow? Check data transfer routines. 5. Gating logic. When should the copy be forbidden? Check requirements. 6. Reporting. How should the document flow look? Check update doc flow.